Blinkety blink blink. Well, there's all the cameras. What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. We are gonna play some D&D and some Empire of the Ghouls. Empire of the Ghouls. Welcome to Drake Takes. It's Friday, January 8th. Happy New Year. All that good stuff. But we left off doing some stuff 2 weeks ago. And was it 2 weeks ago? Was it longer than that? I've lost track.
It
It was
was
a
a month
while ago.
ago.
Yeah,
It feels like a long time.
yeah, yeah. I don't remember shit. But anyways, I'm gonna turn it over to Matt Takuri, our DM. So he's right there. He's right there.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to session 7 of Empire of the Ghouls. Fun adventure we're running through from Kobold Press. Happy New Year to everybody. Um, let's go ahead, since it's been a little while. It's been a month since our last session. Let's do real brief character introductions and then we'll go ahead and jump into it. Let's go in reverse order this time. And we'll start with the unnamed. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So the unnamed is a human who's very, very thin uh, and almost um, emaciated. And the unnamed is actually a title within a bunch of different temples. They are the seers of the temple, um, and they don't have names. They are anonymous. Basically, is why they're called that. And so his purpose in life was to be the speaker for Sif, and now he's struck out on his own for the first time, trying to figure out how to take care of himself away from the trappings of the temple. And he's learning that he's actually pretty good at fighting, um, being so thin, so weak his whole life. Never really thought he could fight very well, but he not only is good at it, he enjoys it. So um, that is the unnamed.
All right, thank you. Let's go with Tarian.
Tyrion is a halfling barbarian, and he's a pretty happy guy. He doesn't really like to get angry very much, and so he needs a little help from his friends and to get angry, so he can go into a rage to be better in battle. He left his halfling village outside of the city um, because to try to get stronger to be able to become a hero for his people, and so he uh, he is just happy to have joined up and made some friends. He's pretty sad he lost his friend Vic Vic, but he's still got his friend unnamed, and he's looking forward to getting to become more better friends with Last Call. And he likes to do tattoos, and he gives tattoos to himself after every battle.
Very nice. All right. Back to Drake with Quint.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Drake. I'm playing Quint, a second level Chateau Fay rogue. And I am a Krakowian rebel, so there has been a war, and Cracovia has been taken over by a bunch of undead, mainly a ghoul army, and you guys suck at it. Can't draw for crap. And uh, and yeah, I'm about to become third level, so that's when rogues start to, do their thing, do their thing. But yeah, I think he's realizing that if he's going to defeat these undead, that he's going to definitely need some help. And I think these guys might be, if we can stay alive, I think we might be a good match. So that's Quint. Quint.
All right. Now, the newest member of the group, Last Call.
Lasco is he's a bard, a Ravenfolk bard, and he just loves to party and then take those parties and spike the punch, turn them up to 11, kick the knob off, start a brawl, and then in the chaos just kind of enjoy himself, pickpockets, do whatever. So he's kind of a jerk. They just found him in this in the underground because he passed out. He doesn't know how he got there. And normally he goes to parties and then starts the fights, but he's discovered this new thing where he can bring the fight with him. So he wants to hang out with this party because everywhere they go, it's just a fight. So
Excellent. Thank you. All right. And last but not least, Blink.
Yeah, hi, I'm Veltrex. I'm playing Blink. He is a kobold artificer. He is native to the city that we're in, and there's been some accusations against the kobolds, so he's pretty invested in the current mission that the party is on to clear the kobolds of any wrongdoing. And yeah, he is also about to hit third level, where artificers will get some new powers as well. So we'll see how that goes.
All right, excellent. So last time when we left off, you guys had invaded the cult of forbidden ecstasies, came across a giant ogre zombie and killed it, broke into the middle of a interesting ritual, um, and basically slaughtered everybody except for Rosalind, who was tied up to a pillar. Almost everyone. After which you explored a little bit of the temple and are kind of part way through your explorations. So also when we left off, we were in the middle of a fight. So we're actually going to pick up with initiative, starting with the unnamed.
Oh yeah, these jerks.
And I forget, did I know that there's a creature in there?
I
think I
believe
should.
you heard last call.
As a free action, Blink yells, "There's a creature in there!"
All right, sir, and if you would move me, please, I can see if I can see. All right, so he's just going to throw some little shuriken action at this guy.
What was that he's talking about learning how to fight and stuff? I just make a comment. Just...
All right, Blink.
All right. Blink will pull out his. He's got his crossbow out already, so he'll take a moment to line up his shot and get advantage on that attack, and then see if he can hit this thing.
That is a hit. Doing a little bit of damage, kind of chips off a little bit of the glass from this this golem. The golem, however, is more interested in last caw. And so he is going to step into the room here and actually step all the way one down. Let's last
Drink first.
spot. What's that?
I'm going to gesture towards the bed.
And he's going to target you, last caw, and he is actually going to slice at you with a shard of glass.
Still on the
Oh, no.
nose.
And yeah, he hits you right across the beak. 7 points of damage as glass goes shattering kind of all over the floor there now. You see glass breaking off of it as you're hitting it.
Well, Quint's gonna step into the old room here. Probably hop up on the bed or get next to the bed there, and he's gonna take a shot with his bow on the golem.
Okay.
This bow right here, twang. Oh, nice. Chucking an arrow at him. A little sneak attack damage, and then
Getting
I'll
your
pass my turn.
automatic sneak attack.
Yes, thank you
Thanks
for.
for that extension.
Yeah, I love it. I like it.
All right. And now it's last call.
Oops, sorry, I clicked it too many times. But yeah, discretion, better part of valor. I'm just gonna run the heck away.
Okay.
After disengaging.
Do like feathers come flying out of you when you leave? Like.
It's very cartoony. Like glass shards and feathers trail of him.
And Quint goes, but get. As you go running by, and he looks, he's the only one in the room now. He's like, gulp.
And as a free action, as I go by, I'm going to say, have fun, and close the door.
Close the door behind you.
Just leave it cracked.
Oh no, I didn't close the door between you and the golem. I closed the door between you and us.
Damn it.
All right. Tyrion.
So I guess I saw last call come out of here, shut the door, so I'm gonna go, and I know Quint's still in there, so I'm gonna go over here.
Wait your turn. There's a take a number thing right by the door. Just
take a number. Yes, I would like a sub, please.
And I'll come in and check things out and go, oh, are we done here? What's going on? And then I'm just gonna. I see that there's no enemies in there, and I'm just gonna go back out.
Quint's like, no, there's one in there. There's one down there. He points this way.
Yeah, this door is open.
Oh, it is. Okay. Well, I guess then I'm gonna just stop right here, and I'm just spent. I don't really have any anger left in me, so I'll still try to fight. But I'm gonna be happy about it.
Happy about it. Well, Quint is going to he's going to try a trick shot. So he's going to like shoot the ground and like try to stir up rocks to do like a shotgun blast or something on it. So he's going to shoot it with disadvantage on that guy with his bow. Nice.
All right.
Doing critical damage.
And, you had a crit?
Well, the sneak a shot automatically scores a critical hit for the trick shot.
Mm-hmm.
It says, as an action, make a single stylish. Oh, here I could do that. Sharing is caring. Trick shot.
Nice. Yeah, if the lower row would also hit, perfect.
And
so you shatter that thing's knee. Glass shards go everywhere, all over the room.
If it's a critical hit, would you get your? No, never mind. I was gonna say
I can't get.
You got your sneak attack.
I can't get sneak attack, but I have disadvantage.
Okay, never mind.
It's like a protective thing for enemies. Disadvantages. Just
all right. So this thing comes back up into the room, up to here, and he has seen Quint shooting at him. So he's going to come up.
Why Quint stayed there, I have no idea, but his foot's caught in the blanket. He's like, oh.
And why Tyrion didn't ready in action, I also have no idea. It's been a month. Give me a break.
We're all still high from that weird.
Yes, all that smoke. So he's going to come by and slash at you with his sharpened hands. Shard of glass. And you duck out of the way, dodge, and he does not get to do anything else.
All right, Tyrion is gonna hit at him with his battle axe.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm talking
All
about.
right.
Quint's
You
like,
swing at the thing and it just shatters into a million pieces. So there's glass all over the floor now. Everywhere you look, it's just like glittering little diamonds, but also very painful to walk on if you weren't wearing shoes.
like halfling.
Yeah, like halflings.
We both look down at the halfling's feet. Uh,
It's
I
okay,
And
move.
they're tough with shoes.
I move over and give him a piggyback ride out of the room.
while you are carefully working your way out of the room, trying to avoid all of the glass, you hear a commotion coming from behind you, Terry, and down in that room, and a tiny little monkey comes running through the doorway, sprints through your legs, climbs up onto the table, jumps off, turns around, and he's holding a couple of handfuls of little brown pellets. And he looks at you and he chucks one at Tarian and runs out the door and heads south, and he sees Lascaw, and he jumps up on top of Lascaw's head and then just kind of pours the rest all over the top of his head and flees off to the south.
Is feces good in glass wounds? Is that a good idea?
Yes.
When it's fresh,
And
it's
that,
like a poultice.
thanks to our favorite watcher in Gorgio, was Clyde, the poo-slinging monkey.
Poo-slinging. Poo-slinging.
And Tyrion dies of sepsis, and I have to roll a new character.
All right, we are now out of combat, so I'll go ahead and kill that.
It is funnier when it's not you that gets pooed.
All right, so we're out of combat. What would you guys like to do?
Well, let's go see what was in this room. Is there a dead guy in here?
There is the dead body of a human. Let me unlock the tokens. Tokens are unlocked. There is the dead body of a human there in the room. He was one of the commoners that you saw that were part of the ritual, but not really into it, and he's dead on the floor.
I accidentally removed my token instead of canceling movement because I'm not sure how that happened.
You removed your own token?
Yeah, I didn't know I could
There
even
you
do that.
Wow, that should be a no-go, right? I mean,
Yeah, as a player, it shouldn't be possible.
It might have just been a timing thing, like because I tried to click the cancel movement right when you.
no, there's the delete token option. I could delete your token. See?
No, please
Goodbye.
Oh, weird. Who got deleted?
I
Yeah, that was
deleted
Blink.
Blake.
All right.
Yeah, and when you
You
get
can delete,
deleted,
but you
you gotta
can't
put
add.
your effects back on yourself. Sorry.
I would like to look at the body.
That's it. The worst part is that my map isn't revealed anymore.
Just get a wiggle. Just do a wiggle.
Determine how it died.
So players can
How
mess with
the
each other
human
now.
died?
Yes.
It was sliced to death by shards of glass.
By the golem. The golem killed it.
Yeah, the glass golem chopped it up pretty good.
So Quint's gonna say there's a door here, and listen at the door and kind of peek at it, and then open it.
All right. You listen in at the door. Give me a perception check.
Perception is right. Where's my dice tower at? Oh, it's up there.
All right. So you do not hear anything from behind the door.
Well, I'm gonna step into this little room.
All right. You step in and open it up, and despite not being on the map, there is a small table in there, and you see on the table there is a black candle that it looks like it was, I don't know, lit not too long ago. It's been lit before. Some of the wax is melted down, but it's out right now. And next to the black candle on the table is a finely crafted leather whip with a bloodstone handle.
So
A whip. Mm. Blood-soaked handle.
Bloodstone. It looks
Oh,
like a blood-colored gemstone in the handle.
this is a whip. Anyone know how to use a whip?
not in combat.
Well,
Yeah, we don't
I
want to know about
suppose
your weird
this
sex things, Les.
probably was never used in combat. Perhaps we should just take them and examine them later.
Yeah, I'd love to have that whip for non-combat reasons.
Yeah, you can also have that weird vibrator I picked up earlier.
It's a personal massager.
I wonder what they did with the hot wax off this candle.
So I want to look at the candle.
All right. So when you take a look at the candle, you get the sense that it is magical. There is something magical about this candle. But you don't know what yet. And I've added it to the party sheet.
I don't want nothing to do with the candle if you light it. I'm leaving. I'm gonna go check on our dead body. Our dead councilwoman body. I think we left
So
her
I'll walk
standing over
to
here.
Blink.
Then we lean her up against the wall, like standing up, balanced.
Can I check out the candle, not touching it? See if I know what it is or have heard about it at any of my cool parties.
He's gonna cock his head.
Sure, give me an Arcana check.
So I'm
With a 5, no, you are not familiar with anything about that candle.
This doesn't smell like anything. I don't think this candle's worth anything. It doesn't smell like tobacco
He scratches
or
it, says it.
gingerbread.
All right.
I've been trying to give it to Blink, so I give it to Blink.
It's not booze, so last call
This
doesn't
is
know what it
magic.
is.
But I don't know what it is.
Do I know? With the 22.
You made it.
You know that it's magical and that it'll take a short rest to figure out what else it does.
Last call knows all about the wax that seals Maker's Mark, though. That's for sure.
It doesn't taste good.
All right. The councilwoman that you wanted to check on, Quint, is back in the main room down here. It's been a few minutes as you've been running around.
All right, we still have to check out these rooms on the other side of the.
Didn't we check all the bodies in the main room already?
Yeah.
You checked everybody in the main chamber, yes, and you've cleared out everything to the north.
Let's go check out these south hallways.
Can I fill empty my water skin out and fill it with this red stuff? The Kool-Aid?
Yes, you can. Okay, give me a second.
Try not to touch it.
1 second.
Not super hard, because I'm lazy.
So when I was in a Curse of Strahd game that Matt ran, I was like the mother of the party, and I still have to stop myself from being that for this game. I'm like, oh, I don't have to police last call.
All right. So, Quint, you are checking out Milanka?
Correct. Yeah, I'm like making sure she hasn't come back to life.
Okay. So when you check her out, you notice. Give me a perception check.
Perception. Sorry. Yeah, no.
Okay. Well, that's good enough to notice that you remember when she was dancing around with the spear, slicing little slivers off of Rosalind, and one of you shot her in the back from a long ways. Somebody.
I pull my arrow out. It was me.
And you're also familiar with the fact that people who are dead don't actively bleed, right? Once you're dead, your heart's no longer pumping. But you notice that the arrow that's in her back still has active drops of blood coming off of it. It's still coming out of her body at a slow pace.
So I check to see if she's still alive.
In what manner? How are you? What are you checking for?
A pulse.
Oh, I was going to suggest break a finger, see if she reacts.
I'm not trained in medicine, but I'm not a dumb man.
All right, you check for a pulse. You do not feel anything. But instead of a pulse, what you do feel is that her skin feels oddly warmer than when you first killed her. Her body seems noticeably warm to the touch, warmer than a normal person.
Like 102-degree warmer kind of thing instead of like
Yeah,
98.
like somebody with a bad fever.
I mentioned this to the. I'm like, excuse me, before you go off that way, this woman still seems to be bleeding, although she is not pumping. Her heart is not pumping, and we might, if we wait long enough, we might be able to cook an egg on her.
We should
All
tell
right.
her.
Anybody have an egg? Oh.
She is.
I want to check her out.
All right. Give me a medicine check. All right, the unnamed. With your medicinal skills, you notice the same things that there's something odd going on here. She has most of the outward symptoms of being dead. Like there's no pulse, you don't see any breathing, you don't see any kind of reaction. But when you're examining her, and you can see the fresh blood is dripping out, and when you take a look at her eyes, you kind of prop open her eyes a little bit just to see if there's any reaction, and you notice the pupils dilate in reaction to the light. They go smaller in reaction to the light.
Tyrion wants to do a Arcana check, even though he's
Okay.
not amazing at that.
What are you looking for?
I just want to see if I think something magical is going on with her.
You do think something magical is going on with her, but you have absolutely no clue what.
I'm just gonna say, hey, magic friends, something feels magical.
Just to clarify, we do know who she is now, right? Like,
Yes, you have identified.
Yeah, we remember.
Rosalind told you.
Think
perhaps she has some kind of item on her. I'll see if she has something hidden, like a ring or something, an amulet that's keeping her
I'm
alive.
going to say a quick prayer to Sif, and then see if I can recall anything about undead or that would react this way, or anything that would be divine in nature doing this.
Okay.
Yeah, Blink is also trying to remember anything, excuse me, that he might have heard about this. Something that, maybe he's heard of this condition before.
Okay. Blink, why don't you give me an Arcana check, and Unnamed, give me a Religion check.
Yeah, mine's already there.
Okay. 20 and a 10. All right. So Arcana-wise, that there are certain drugs and certain things that can cause the body to appear dead. Paralytic drugs, or drugs that overwhelm the system if enough significant shock happens to them. So you think that perhaps something with the smoke, or something that they gave to her previously that you're not aware of, may be affecting her body in this way.
Perhaps we should use some magical healing on her, maybe. Does anyone have
I,
any such item? I don't know if I have any items.
I don't have any spell slots left. I do have a little bit of this ointment left. There, that stuff.
Why don't we just dip her in that red stuff? She seemed to like it.
Did we determine what was the red stuff? It was a month ago.
The red stuff appears to be a large pool of blood. It's a blood red liquid. You think it's blood, but it could be something that just has had lots of blood added to it.
Oh, maybe that's what's keeping her alive.
I mean, maybe we could just take her with us and, give her to the authorities?
Well, this may not last forever, and if we're going to question her, it's much easier to question a live person than a dead one.
Alright, let's throw in the blood and see what happens.
Or we could just rub some of this ointment on her.
Oh, sure, do that.
Do you mind,
These
Blink?
ointment
No.
is very special. I can just use. I have one last potion of healing.
Yes, that's probably better. Here, save that ointment for somebody who might need to be bettered.
So I'm going to take. Do we have a way to tie her hands and gag her first?
Is she
There
attractive
is
or something?
plenty of equipment in the rooms that you've seen that would work great for tying her up and gagging her.
Yeah, there was that sex party. I'll get them in
We
there.
look around.
Lots of
There's like
equipment that you could
bondage
use.
machines and
Fuzzy
cages and
handcuffs.
gag balls
Load her up with fuzzy handcuffs like it's 2 sleeves.
and a gag ball. We got to put a gag ball in her mouth.
Alright, so once she's bound and gagged, then I will use my last healing potion.
How are you giving it to her if she's gagged?
Just kind of
Rectally.
dripping it in.
Rectally.
You require the potions to be drank?
Well, I'm not
Traditionally.
gonna actually care all that much, but you can administer it. Traditionally, it has to be drank, yes, unless it's
Okay, because
a
I
salve
run my
or something.
potions differently. That's why I was asking, because it can be poured into the wound or drank, or
You
as
can
long
pour
as
it up her
it's
nose.
magic. So you can do anything as long as it's
Yeah.
applied to them. That's how I do it.
Do you allow
So,
a rectal
okay, so I will
insertion?
wait,
Like, and then
have
crunch,
the
like a
gag ready,
glow
and
stick?
then pour it in.
Okay.
And
And
as soon as it's in, I'm putting the gag back on.
Carrion is correct. You can pour it up her nose.
Can we
I'm not
like
going to.
It's all
insert it and
connected.
then crunch it like a glow stick? I don't know.
All right, so you have no trouble. She doesn't resist in any way, shape, or form to your sticking the potion in her mouth and then gagging her shortly thereafter. And are you like sitting and watching her, or?
Yes, I'm holding
Yes,
her.
I'm watching the eyes, and if nothing happens after a couple of seconds, I'll check the eyes and stuff and see. I'm looking for changes, watching the wounds, watching her.
After watching her for a few seconds, you do notice that the color of her skin seems to change a little bit. It seems to flush a little bit, like she's not quite as pale as she was a moment ago. But you also notice that her eyes, you're looking at her eyes particularly, it looks like at first it looked like tears were forming kind of at the corners of her eyes, but they're not tears, they're drops of blood that are now streaking down the sides of her face. This reddish fluid that you assume is blood, but it seems to be coming like from her tear ducts.
Oh, crap. I forgot that was my potion of acid. Oh.
Does this pool, is it giving off a particular scent?
It
Strawberry shortcake?
kind of smells like old blood. It's got a very
So I'll take
irony, metallic scent.
How do you know what
I'll
old blood
take a
smells like, Medicare? Just
rag
ask it. Just ask it.
and try to smear what's coming from the eyes and smell it and see if it's the same scent.
It does. It has a very similar scent.
This is the same. I think you may have been correct last call. This appears to be the same substance.
Yeah, I'm so tempted to drink this, but I don't know.
Does she have a pulse now?
She does not,
Let's dunk her
but
in
she's
the.
still noticeably warm.
Let's dunk her in there. What
The
can it hurt?
the bleeding, you no longer see drops of blood coming off the end of the arrow. The arrow is still in her back.
I mean,
Yep. Let's dunk her.
if somebody finds out we killed her, we're all dead anyway. So let's
I'll
experiment.
remove the arrow. I thought he said he had already removed it and taken it out. So
Well, once I
I'll
realized she might not
I'll
be
remove
dead,
the
I
arrow.
didn't yank her liver out. You know, oh look, a liver.
Lasco is just going to keep repeating in Quinn's voice. If anybody knows that we finds out that we killed her, we're going to be dead anyway. Just over and over again.
Yes, yes.
All right. So what are you doing with her body?
Well, I'm gonna go over and hold her by her feet. How much does she weigh?
She's
I
pretty
got a
light,
14
maybe.
strength. Can I like hold her by her feet and dunk her into her head into the pool?
It's
I
really.
mean, it's not that deep
Or
of a pool. I mean, it's maybe 8 inches of fluid
oh,
in
Just throw her
the
in.
pool.
It's like a
so
French toast. You can
we'll just
put
like
it in there and
lean her
flip it
over the
over.
edge and dunk her head in it.
Grab her face, drown her in the red
Well, I
pool.
don't want to throw her whole body in it. I just want to like like melting pot. Just like dunk her in the cheese.
Grab her
All
hat,
right.
stick it in the blood, and go. Where's the money, Lebowski?
All right. So you haul her over there and you dunk her head in like you're waterboarding her into the red fluid. And you notice she doesn't sputter. She doesn't seem to be breathing at all. So you're not really sure if anything went in her mouth or not.
Let's cut off her head and leave her here.
Say again.
I'll vote for that. That sounds fun.
Let's cut off her head and leave her here.
She's a leader of the town. Perhaps there's a reward for her.
Oh, I didn't think this was the leader of the town.
Yes, this
Yeah.
is one of the town councils. This is not the
Oh, right.
the head of the
didn't-
cult.
It's been a month. I forgot. So we weren't we gonna kind of bring her back and just give her to a temple or
Yes.
something, or the council and say, hey, we think she was
Perhaps
possessed,
we should
so.
return her to her family, maybe.
Yeah.
Leave her on the
So-
front stoop. Message
Can
for
we-
you, sir.
No,
Can we try taking some of the blood out and pouring it in her mouth to see if she will
Sure.
swallow some of it?
Yes,
If that
Blink,
helps?
you certainly could do that. Yes.
Last call. Let me
Do
borrow
you have
a mug.
a vial or a mug? I was going to say. do
Can't
you have
last
something
call
to
like
dip in?
like gurgle it like and then
Oh, I
go.
already have some in my water skin, so I'll give you that as long as you refill it again.
Like you're feeding one of your babies, Lasco.
One of my babies. I don't know of any babies. Are you a process David?
All right. So yeah, you have no trouble getting some of that fluid down her throat. Similar to how she reacted with the potion of healing, she doesn't react as if she's drinking. There's no muscular motion at all in her throat. She's not breathing or anything. And so you don't really see much of anything in terms of reaction from her body. And Rosalind, the lady, is begging you to help her and get her somewhere where she can be healed.
let's
Who-
stop defending this
Wait, Rosalind's
councilwoman
begging us
trying
to help Rosalind or to help?
No, Rosalind is begging you to help Melanka.
So she's a commoner and she knows that her
Yes,
entire family is ruined if this goes wrong.
She explains that she doesn't think this person was in her right mind. Like all of her behavior and stuff, she seemed to be possessed or out of her normal frame of mind.
Do you think she would have? Do you think she would have killed you if she had the chance? We hadn't stopped her.
She may have, but I'm not sure that she was under control of herself.
So, at least we'll sleep better at night knowing that. So, Quint's gonna go get some blankets and wrap her up, sling her over her shoulder, and say, "Let's keep moving."
I would still like to check out the rest of these rooms
Yes,
south of
I
here.
agree, but
But
we shouldn't leave her laying here alone. Someone could steal her body,
yeah, let's
or
bring them with her, us,
in some
and leave her
weird
in the hallway.
coincidence, she could wander off.
Though if there's any things that look like those statues that we saw in the last room, let's just close the door and leave.
Maybe we can put them in a sack and go smash, smash, smash really quick.
All right, I'm gonna open this door.
Okay, give me 1 second. Don't go in just yet.
A lot of things to the initiative.
Oh, they're already on the initiative.
Oh, cool. Cool.
In fact, we are going to roll for initiative because when you open the door, what you see is there's 4 beds that line the chamber. And they're plush with silken sheets and down pillows. There's a comforter displayed on the bed. It's kind of out of place next to the cold stone walls and the dull perpetual hum of the subterranean cistern. Sitting on the end table near the kind of right down there is a red crystal statue and depicting a sultry maiden in a suggestive pose. But also in the room, you see one of those commoners that was one of the cultists that you had encountered previously. So
Wow, why is
Tyrion,
your...
you get to go first.
All right,
Hmm?
I'm just gonna kind of yell at the commoner to get out of that room, and I'm gonna stay out in the hallway. And I'll just ready in action if the statue turns to life. I'm gonna shoot a javelin at it. By shoot, I mean throw.
Okay. So you order the commoner to come out. Are you like trying to intimidate him or
Uh,
just talking?
I'm just talking. If he dies, he joined a cult. It's kind of on him.
Okay. So you order him. He freaks out and steps back into this corner and tries to hide down behind the bed. So the statue you see is kind of down here on that little end thing.
So Quint's going to lay her body down, and then he's going to move down so he can see at least.
Okay. So you can see the commoner behind the bed there. He's not really able to hide terribly well. He's also not very proficient. He's a little overweight, and his waxy full beard is just like overflowing on the side of the bed.
And Tyrion just asked him to come out, and he didn't.
Come out, and he ducked and hid behind the
And you
bed.
said the statue's down here somewhere?
Statue's kind of right there.
So let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So I will pull out my bow and ready? Can I? I had to lay her body down. What is it? If I drop a weapon, it's a free action, but
Yeah, you
I
can
don't know.
drop her body as a free action. Thunk.
Okay. And then I'll move down and I'll ready my bow if the statue or the waxy full beard guy acts aggressive. I will see if they like an arrow.
Okay. Last call.
Well, I was hanging out here like a doofus, so I'm going to do a double move. Try to join the party. Get up there.
Okay. Wait a minute. Did I uncover the wrong one? Nope. Yeah, that's the right one. Okay.
I didn't boat or anything.
Blink.
All right, Blink's just gonna move down and see what he can see because he can't see much from up there. And once he moves down, let's see, can he see anything? I can't really see much from there still, so he's just going to ready in action. He's going to shoot a firebolt if anything aggressive comes into his line of sight.
Okay. Unnamed.
All right, so I heard Tyrion. So I'm going to move down. Once I see what's going on, I'm just going to come down here, and then I'm actually going to be watching to the south and just watching and see if anything is going to be coming up from below. Now, does this turn to the west, or does it go east and west?
From
40 feet away.
From the south.
Yes.
And then it turns. Yeah, it just turns to the west.
Okay.
Tyrion, you're up again.
So this guy hid, and that's irritating to me, but just not enough to make me that angry. So I'm going to try to intimidate him and just be like, just get your stupid butt out here before we have to kill you.
Okay, give me an intimidation check. Oh, hey.
21.
You scared the
The
complete crap
little
out of me.
halfling just really was terrifying.
Blink's a little scared.
And I'm gonna re-ready my javelin throw if anything starts being intimidating, or I mean, anything starts being aggressive.
Okay.
Do you want to say hi to Rob? He's in the stream, by the way.
Hey, Rob. Welcome to Empire of the Ghouls.
Empire Ghouls, a Midgard campaign setting.
Yeah. All right, so this guy is absolutely scared shitless. He sees the entire group of adventurers with you, Tyrion, and so he decides to stand up and he kind of sticks his hands up and please don't shoot me. And he walks over to the door there and kind of stops there in front of you. You notice that he seems to have left the club that you saw him carrying back over by the bed.
I'm going to keep.
Unnamed.
I'll take one step forward and I'll just keep watch down here.
Coin Quint is going to put his bow away, step forward, and grab him. Like pull him out of the room.
Okay.
Kind of put his hands behind his back and push him up against the wall like I'm a cop.
All right. He does not resist.
Like
So we'll
like over here
throw
somewhere.
him out. All right. We'll throw him wherever you want him. So you yank him out of the room and haul him over there. He's looking terrified. Like his knees are shaking, his hands are shaking. He's sweating profusely.
Say, if you change your token to yellow, we won't kill you.
There.
Does he seem to have any of the effects that the woman did with the blood?
He does not. He doesn't have any of the similarities to the state of the woman that you found. He's just kind of, he's dressed up in his cult outfit. It doesn't look like it fits terribly well. Like he's relatively new and hasn't gotten the proper fitting for his cult robes yet. And scared out of his mind. It looks like his beard is a bad dye job. Some of it's streaking a little bit. Yeah, he doesn't look like he's terribly competent as a cult fanatic.
What's in this room over here? And we point to the door across the hall.
Okay, 1 second. He says, "Oh, we're not allowed in that room. That is Felicia's private room. None of us were ever allowed in there."
I'm gonna ask him. We've run into these glass statues that have tried to kill us. That looks like there's one in that room we were just in. What, is there a way to not have those try to kill us? It didn't seem to try to kill you.
I'm not sure I'm supposed to say, but yes. I overheard one time Felixia, she was entering into the room, she said the phrase "Red Mother's Mercy." The Red Mother being Morena.
Because we're gonna kill you if you don't, and your Felicia is dead.
Which one's Felicia?
Felicia was the cult leader, the lady, the pale albino lady.
The body that's laying out on the floor out there.
The body that you guys
I point to her. She's probably like right up here somewhere.
I heard her talk, right? So I could imitate her voice?
A little bit, yeah. You heard her say a few things.
At least try to make it sound like she's saying Red Mother's Mercy, if that's important that she says it.
He'll explain that it's a passphrase that all of the golems in the room respond to, and it just makes them inert so that they don't. Otherwise, they attack anyone who enters the room that doesn't say that.
Okay, I'm definitely going to try to steal one of those golems.
So I say it, Red Mother's Mercy, right? Is that what you said to say?
Yes, Red Mother's
and
Mercy.
Then
Red Mother being the goddess Morena.
I'll step into the room with my hand on my sword, looking at this thing.
All right.
Creeping towards it.
So
as I
you
enter the room, Red Mother's Mercy.
Creep towards it, and it is there, sitting on the thing, and it doesn't move. It looks, for all intents and purposes, like an ordinary statue.
And I look back at the party, and I think it worked for me. Like shifting around to get next to it, and I'll have my sword out. If it flinches, I'm gonna break it like it's a.
Well, I'm an idiot. I'll say
I'm gonna call
the same thing.
Mazel tov and smash it.
All right, tokens are unlocked since kind of we're out of combat here. The golem does not react. If any of you enter without saying it, let me know. But for any that enter and do say it, the golem is completely inert. It does not react in any way, shape, or form. It only looks like a ruby-colored statue, crimson-colored.
I'm gonna try to double bag it in 2 pillowcases and take it. Is that possible or no?
It's relatively heavy, but you could. I mean, it doesn't have a stat for it, but I'd say it weighs, 40 or 50 pounds.
He doesn't have a great plan. He just thought it'd be real funny to leave in the bathroom at a bar.
It would be a good
That's the
track.
extent of his plans. If you can decide if that's successful or not, but that's all he would do with it. It wouldn't be combative or strategic in any way.
All right.
Uh,
Steven. Go ahead, Blank.
Blink wants to listen at this other door that he's at. See if he can hear anything.
All right. Give me a perception check. You listen in and you do not hear anything.
I think this room's empty, guys.
I would like to do like a perception check to look for any secret hallways like we found in the other side.
All right. Give me a perception check. You do not find anything.
I'm just gonna say, hey guys, maybe we should search for secret passageways like we found on the other side.
I guess I'll look to.
Okay. Anybody who wants to look, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Can I
Check the area
investigate the walls instead?
You certainly can.
I've become-
Lascaux, however, is certainly rolled well enough to find it. And yes, you do find a door right there. There is a hidden door in the wall right there.
I'm gonna point it out.
Notice-
You go first, Mr.
Yeah, there is a tiny little button concealed as a small stone brick that when you push it, it pops open. From here, Tarian, you can see that there is another door right there. Right there on that wall. It's easy to see from the back, but you think it might be a similarly concealed wall.
Okay, can I do another perception check for any super secret passageways?
Sure, you can search in this hallway.
I just keep walking.
Open your eyes. Open your eyes first.
All right, you do not find any anything along that hallway up until that door.
I'll open the door, but as I open it, yell "Red Mother's Mercy."
Okay.
Just scream it.
Oh yeah, definitely scream it.
You open the door there, and what you can see is a collection of torture devices decorates this lantern-lit chamber. There are 2 leather-padded pillories, a rack, and a spiked iron chair, accompanying a table topped with 2 whips and a set of metal surgical tools.
Ooh.
I'm gonna yell back to my friends, it's just another sex room.
Cool. And I'm gonna go in. No, I'm just kidding.
And there is a door in the south wall.
So Quint's gonna go get the body.
Okay.
And come back. And then follow along. When he comes back in, he says, "A Red Mother of Mercy."
I assume you'll say it in every room you enter.
Just to clarify.
From here on out.
Just to clarify.
I'm helping him with the body, but just so I can make her talk.
You keep picking up her dress. Is that where you're going?
Pretend to talk as her.
Yeah, I'm like using her voice to say various rude things to Quint.
Quit grabbing me.
You know, people are gonna think that our entire party has like OCD because every time we go into a room, we're all gonna say Red Mother's Mercy.
It's like a Tourette thing.
At least we don't have to say it 3 times.
So that's what you find in the room. Then there's a door to the west and a door to the south.
I wonder where the door to the
You
west
do not
goes.
see any golems in the room.
I think it might be too late, but maybe we should bring that commoner along with us so he can't run off. Maybe tie him
He's
up.
gone.
Yeah, it's too late. Whoops.
I saw him running down the hallway when I went to fetch the body.
Oh well, maybe he'll learn his lesson and not join any more cults.
He won't be hard to follow. He was peeing most of the way.
This is true. He was scared enough by Tyrion that
I'd open that door to the
left a
south,
trail.
but I have a body over my shoulder.
Alright, I'll do it.
All right. You open the door. It is not locked, and it looks like a closet chamber. There's an array of outfits. Look like a dozen or so well-made, risque outfits, which in game would be treated as fine clothes, which are hanging on iron pegs driven into the far wall. There's also an unlocked wooden chest on the southern wall that contains an assortment of Gothic carnival masks and half masks worth 15 gold and 2 leather whips.
Alright, I'll take the stuff. And I'm gonna search again for any super secret room.
Okay. You do not find any additional super secret rooms out of there.
Should we go back and check that room that no one's allowed in?
Sure.
Well, I suppose I could have left the body for a little while.
Sorry, these doors that are on the
You gotta
between the
unlock
two things
them.
are
There you
parts
go. Oh, I just locked it on. I just unlocked it
I
on you.
almost opened it. Yeah.
Just one person click it, please.
Yeah. Why don't we know how to use doors, guys?
All right.
Natural one.
This door here.
So you're wanting to open the door? Who's opening the door?
Gwen's like holding a body over his shoulder. Everyone else is looking at him. Here, last call. Hold this.
I just let it drop.
He just gets out of the way. Clunk. Quinta move over and examine the door first, using his keen sense of tactile feel and check it for traps.
All right, give me an investigation check. You do not find anything with a rolled 2.
Quint's like, it doesn't appear to be trapped. Let me see if it's locked.
I would
Turn
just
the
say all of the Red Mother stuff. Red Mother's blessing, Red Mother's, love, Red Mother's hate. Just Red Mother it up when you go in there.
The door is locked. Now, remember that on Felicia, when you killed her, she had a ring of keys.
I'll run back and get that for him.
I assumed we probably took the ring of keys.
Yeah.
Let's try this one that's labeled the Felixia's bedchamber key.
Does it shape like a dildo? I don't know. Let's see.
So there is one of the keys on there that very easily opens the lock. So it is unlocked.
So I'll open the door and look in.
So when you open the door, faint floral perfumes drift in the air of this chamber, which is lined with unlit candles and red silken tapestries. A crimson upholstered divan sits on the eastern wall, and a very fine red patterned rug lies in the center of the chamber. A red glass statue adorns the table near the divan. The sculpture depicts a seductive feminine form crowned with the chilling visage of a smirking skull.
What has a sulking skull? The rug?
There's a sculpture, a red glass
Oh.
statue, on the table near there in the room.
The room looks nothing like you just. I mean, absolutely not.
No.
One thing is the same. There is a table. I
This
give
is-
it that.
Yeah, this is a case of them using a map and not tying the description to the actual map.
This map will work.
Black-
Let's just
Black
put
Spot's
pins on.
favorite.
Let's do the story, and we'll find a map, and then we'll just put the pins on it. That's what we did.
That's all it takes. Yeah.
Obviously, we're gonna say those words as we
So
go in.
yeah, and Quint's gonna move over to the statue and examine it.
Okay, stop.
Hurt.
Right where you're at, Quint.
You are dead.
If I don't roll for initiative, does it really count? I mean, just saying, I could. And Quint rolls in 5. Figures.
All right, Quint. When you get there, you are standing on that beautiful red rug that's kind of in the taking up the middle of the room. And the rug all of a sudden flutters and wraps up as it tries to grab you. As you are standing on a rug of smothering.
Oh, I thought it was a hug rug. That's a better name for it.
It's some weird sex thing again.
It forms into an inflatable latex suit.
All right. So the rug of smothering goes ahead and attempts to grab you while you're standing on it. Why didn't that apply?
The 12's gonna miss.
Okay, 12 is going to miss, so it misses you. It isn't able to hold on to you, but you can see that it's come alive now and is attempting to grapple you. So I'm going to move the initiative to the rug of smothering, and then pass it. So Tyrion.
Say red rug of smothering. Red rug of smothering.
Well, I'm gonna, come up to the door. I mean, I can see that this is happening in here. Do I think I can try to hit it with my axe without hurting Quint?
Yeah, it's a large rug, so there's certainly large, big sections of the rug that you can chop into the weave without hitting Quint. Now, if he were fully encased, that might be more difficult, but he's not held yet.
All right, I'm gonna try to hit it with my axe.
All right, that is a hit. You had advantage.
Wow.
I'm not sure why I had advantage.
Halflings have advantage against rugs. It's just
Yeah.
It's just a thing.
Did she attack twice? It looks like maybe she attacked Quint.
Oh yeah.
Oh, did I make
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, you did.
I dodged.
Oh.
I was like, whoa.
I
I'm
did
like,
not
watch that
mean
axe.
to happen.
All right, so you slice in a big chunk of it. The rug starts to come unraveled a little bit. You ruined one of the nice motifs that's woven into the rug.
All right, I'm gonna move out of the way.
Okay. If you move there, it will get an attack of opportunity because you're
alright.
next to it. It's really kind of right there.
Well,
Oh,
she's
I
not
guess-
moving its threatened square. That's not threat.
No, that's
not
right.
leaving it.
That's right. It's
just
still
close the door as you walk by.
It's a large.
yeah. Nah, it's not
So
going to
my
get an attack. The
Oh, I was gonna
door
say
is
I
nothing
don't
but-
need to move that far. I just want to make sure my friends can have a shot at it.
Sure. All right, Quint.
Well, Quint doesn't want to be on this freaking rug anymore, so he's going to get out of the freaking out of the rug, I guess the quickest way would be to jump up on the table, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he does a little flip up onto the table and
Give me an acrobatics check.
draws out his attempting to draw out his short sword.
All right, yeah, you have no trouble jumping up onto there. The table wobbles a little bit, but you manage to keep your footing.
And he's gonna slash at this thing with his short sword, or poke at it, I should say, since it's a short sword. And I stick it, and
All right.
do some damage to it, and then he's going to. You see him kind of turn into smoke, and he's going to use his Shadow Step ability to get the hell out of there. Like, that door's open, right?
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to get down there. You could get like kind
Yeah,
of straight
like-
through to there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't mean
certainly.
that. I meant to change my movement. Yeah. So he's going to step over there.
Do you have
All right.
movement as well?
I do.
Because you could go wherever you want after that.
Yeah, no, I'm okay being there. That way I can move back if I want to. I don't want to be wrapped up in that thing. Sounds like
Okay.
sounds like we're getting attacked by a towel.
It's a rug.
Yeah,
Lasco's going to do a run by, but as he
fine.
when he passes in that square, he's going to see if he can see it and ruin the rug with his Eldritch Blast. Because once you spill beer on a rug, it's done for.
Yeah, it's right after that.
It's just going to smell like piss forever.
All right. You blast the rug, so now it's all
Oh, it's almost
soaking
8.
wet. It's close.
One sec, there's a poisoned effect that I have to look at.
Ah, okay.
I doubt a rug's probably immune to poison, anyways.
Oh yeah, it has to take a Constitution saving throw. Let's see what a rug's Constitution is.
Whoever it smothers next will have to make the save too.
Be
Oh, I don't
soaked
think
in.
this the save isn't coded. Sorry.
Oh.
How do I make it do a Constitution saving? Sorry.
I can. What's the difficulty?
What is it? 8 plus 3 or plus 2?
Yeah, your
10?
spell DC for
Oh,
most
sorry,
of your
12?
spells.
12 or 13?
Over 13. So he failed his Constitution saving throw.
I poisoned the rug.
All right, you have poisoned the rug. Unfortunately, rugs are immune to poison, and so
Well,
now
I
you
mean,
have a.
It's
Beer
more if
soaked
somebody
rug.
bites the rug now, then they'll get poisoned.
It's for when the rug wraps around somebody and.
If you eat the rug, you'll be. That's the difference between poison and venom. If you're venomous, the rug bites you.
So Quinn's going to draw out his dagger in his offhand and kind of, oops, drag my map across the board, move in, and give it some stabby stabby.
Okay. Nice.
And then with his dagger, Primary hand.
Slice off one of the tassels.
Offhand. Why does it still say I got a +4 to the damage, though?
Ducks out of
Ranged
the
and
way.
melee? No, I didn't. I did the wrong one. Sorry. Let me roll that again.
No problem. That's a hit.
Maybe that's why it's offhand. I have offhand selected, and it's still showing I have a +4 to damage. Let's just see if it still does the +4. It did. I don't know why.
I'm pretty sure I know the reason, and that's because this is a bug that got fixed recently. In the weapon, if you open up the weapon properties, not the weapon properties, but on the action, on the weapon magnifying glass, you see where in the attack where it has the stat dex hard coded, you need to change that to base. It used to be that Fantasy Grounds would automatically switch that based on whatever your current stat was when the weapon was added to your inventory. But they added it, they made it so it should auto manage that, both for the attack and damage.
All
Should
right,
be set
well,
to base instead of dex.
so could you give him 3 points back? I guess he's not dead. I didn't kill him.
Oh, 3 points back?
He-
Okay.
Well, I did 5. He should have only taken 1, so and exceeded by 1, so 4 points back. I'm sorry. And then I'm going to disengage as a bonus action. Oh, I used my bonus action. I'm just going to take the hit then, I guess. I'm just going to stand here. I'm going to get to one side though. This side. Make some room for my buddies. And pass my turn.
All right, so I still don't really know what's happening. I just see everybody freaking out.
You
Big
hear them
mood.
fighting something, and you hear the sound of cloth rustling in the next room.
And
And
the
Quint
echo
going,
growling
Quint's
noises.
it's a rug.
screaming like a little girl when
It's
it
a rug, yeah.
tried to wrap around him, still echoing. Am I able to see him from here?
Yeah, sure. Doorway's open.
Not according to line of sight, but I agree with the DM.
All right, you toss your shuriken.
Alright, so I'm
and
gonna throw a
misses the
shuriken
tassel,
and
bounces off the
Quint
wall.
keeps running around and jumping around and being weird, and so I don't want to hit him. So it causes me to miss.
Sure, blame it on me.
All right. Blink lines up his shot at this rug.
Kill it.
A hit.
Why do
Poke
I
a
have,
hole right through it.
why do I have, did I have disadvantage?
You had advantage, disadvantage, so I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, I was just curious why I had disadvantage.
I don't know.
I don't know
Because
neither.
it's prone, it's a rug? I don't know. I'm just
Firing
saying.
into melee.
He's not.
You've never seen a
firing
rug
anything.
before?
Far enough away.
Because the rug's laying on the floor and it's prone. I don't know.
Did
It
you
doesn't
have-
matter.
yeah.
All right.
All right. So
I'm
you,
glad that we killed it, but how would we know?
because it's no longer animated and its little tassels are not trying to wrap itself around your ankles.
We pretty much shredded it.
It stopped
Just
bleeding.
piles of yarn.
It's
Yeah,
not bleeding anymore.
I touch its fringe and check for a pulse.
It's got little bleeding tears coming out of the face on it.
All
Quint's
right,
like,
so we are out of combat.
I've never fought a
With the
rug
rug.
before.
First time for everything.
Yeah, Quint's gonna
Blink.
creep back into the room, check the stone floors. I don't want to have to fight a rock.
Look up, look up.
A chandelier! Shoot it!
Bl-
Okay.
Blink wants to pick up the tassels that Quint lopped off and hand them to Terry and say, "Cover your shame."
He only needs one.
I, I'm just gonna throw him. throw the tassels back at him.
All right.
Looks like a
Um,
fig leaf.
okay, so you, after taking a look at the room, the glass statue actually doesn't look like the golems that you've seen elsewhere. You know, in an initial glance, it kind of looked like it, but this one you don't think is actually a golem.
Just a dildo.
Just a yeah, just a little statue. In fact, the statue is carved in the likeness of the blood goddess Morena.
The famed phlebotomist.
So what would you guys like to do here in this room?
Quint's gonna go check out this door over here. He's just gonna
And
see if it's locked first. If it's not, he's gonna squint his eyes and open it.
All right.
I'm checking
The
for
door
traps.
is you okay? You're gonna check for traps.
No,
Go ahead
no,
and check.
I'm just opening it, but I'm
Oh,
saying
okay.
that as I open it and squinting my
All right,
eyes.
I gotcha.
Checking for traps.
So the door to the east.
I mean, to be fair, that is an effective way to find traps.
It certainly is.
Yeah. That's how we used to do it in the engineer unit too. You just cover your ears and stomp on the ground in front of you, and you find mines.
It explains
Uh,
recruitment.
the room to the east, they don't give any description. It's basically a closet with her personal clothing, various outfits and bondage leather gear.
Anything that fits last call?
Probably.
All of those in his inventory. Don't care about the weight. He will be encumbered.
All right.
All of those.
The door to the north, however, opens up, and this is also where a map doesn't match the description. But the room to the north of this chamber contains several shelves lined with books, oddities, and jars of various dried flowers. An open letter sits on top of one of the books.
You kind of reversed the pins and kind of got away with that, maybe.
I would like to read that letter.
Yeah. You want to read the letter? All right. So this is the letter.
Whoa.
Yeah, Lasco's still in mid costume montage, so you'll have to tell him about this later.
All right. Would you like to read that aloud, Robin?
30 Harvest Tide 483 AR. In the name of Baron Urslav, crawling lord of Valenoria, keeper of the Red Sisters, and by the unholy hand of King Lucan, lord of the Shroud Eaters, let it be known to all agents of the Blood Kingdom, change is coming to Zobek. By the hand of our fair sisters and the brothers of
Nicophorus.
Nicophorus, the Pale, first of his name, our allies seek to divert Zobek's attention from the Iron Crags towards the
Maroti.
Maroti. To this end, the Honorable Felixia Belsheth has been appointed Red Sister of the First Order and ordained to serve the Red Mother's mercy from our bastion with Zobek itself. All agents of the Blood Kingdom are hereby summoned to identify any personages of significant import for conversation within Sister Belsheth's enclave. These covenants will form the bedrock of new trade and ensure a pact of non-aggression with the Crossroads City. By the glory of Morgoth and the unhallowed legions of Doresh, in Marenia's name we conquer.
Lasco's
So,
going to suggest that we say we found the letter on the Vandemic lady, just so that it's less bad that we did a death on her.
Sounds good.
Felixi is the chick we killed, right?
Yeah, no, I know that's
Yeah.
not true. I'm saying we should lie so that we don't get murdered.
Yeah,
As in
Felixia was the
character.
cult leader that you
Yeah,
killed out
the
in the
cult
hallway.
leader. Can
I'm
we
trying to
change? Can we change
implicate a
the?
leader of the town.
Can we change the name to her name? You know, erase it and write it in. Like,
It doesn't matter if we say we found it on her; they can make their own suppositions. Like a good lie is a simple one. We just found it on her.
well, we're assuming that she's the only one of the council that may be involved here. There could be more.
And there are numerous other books there on the shelves. This was just a letter that was out in the open.
Yeah, I want to take a look at the books and all the. I mean, you said there was like dried ingredients and things in jars. I want to take a look at all of that and see if there's anything that Blink would find interesting or useful.
Waterdeep Kama Sutra, volumes 1 through 35.
The jars themselves are just basically potpourri. They're dried flower petals and whatnot. So not terribly interesting there. You do find most of the books on the shelves are like tawdry novels, erotic fiction, and whatnot. But there is one book bound in a blood-stained leather that's titled "Prophets of the Red Goddess," and it stands out from the rest. Kind of browsing through it just briefly, that seems to cover a lot of information about Morena, about the goddess Morena, her influence, her priestesses, the Red Sisters, um, and as you're flipping through, you notice there's an illustration in there showing one of those red golems. And it looks like there may be some kind of instructions on how to implement, how to create one of those things. You're not sure if you have the magical knowledge to do such a thing, but the information about the processes that need to be used to create the golems is detailed there. There's also a list of command phrases for them, including the Red Mother's Mercy that you now know about here in this temple.
So Blink will hold the book out and say, "Guys, take a look at this." And as they're all distracted by it, he reaches over and he takes the Kobold's Kink off the bookshelf and puts it in his stack.
All right. Also, I forgot to mention at the end of the book, kind of between the pages of the book and the back cover of it, you see another letter folded there into the book. Taking a look at the letter, this is what you see. So Blink, could you go ahead and read that?
Oh, did you want me to read that?
Yeah, could you read that?
Sorry. Ms. Balesheth, congratulations on your new post. Your predecessor was quite reluctant to communicate, and I trust you are a better correspondent. The bearer of this letter is my agent, Boris Cruel, whom I have tasked with assisting you in whatever way you desire. He is particularly adept at acquiring prey and might serve well in procuring lambs for your goddess's altar. He brings with him one of our latest acquisitions. An oafish lout indeed, but this acquisition should prove effective in defending your new position, though do be sure to keep him well fed. Shroudson.
Probably the guy we killed outside.
Do we recognize the name Shroudson?
No, none of you have ever heard that name, Shroudson. You do recognize Boris Kroll, though. Boris was the one that you overheard talking with Felixia in the other map, the Catacombs map. Right before Felixia ran away, Boris was the ghoul assassin that was with her and covered her escape.
She didn't feed him very well.
The feeding is referring to the ogre zombie. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and add the parcel to the party sheet, and then we'll take a break.
Take a break. A 10-minute break. Let's do it. 10-minute. All right, so I am going to start a timer for 21, 42, make it 43, and then I'm gonna put on some pretzel and the slideshow. So we're gonna take a 10-minute break and water the horses and all that jazz, and we'll be back. So you can go away, just come back, please. Thank you. I think we're back. Yeah, are we back?
All right, we're back. So you guys found all of that stuff. I went ahead and added it to the party sheet. There's the book Prophets of the Red Goddess with some information there. You think it'd be worth like 200 gold or so to a collector of religious writings.
Wow.
But other than that, it doesn't have any magical properties to it.
A marble sphere that vibrates gently.
Yes, that was found by Tyrion last
Dibs.
time.
Yeah, I think I already gave it to Laska.
Yeah,
and,
it
then I
seems like
washed, and then I washed my hands really well.
It is
Hand
secreted on my
sanitizer.
person. You're welcome to try to find it.
Well, we'll just wait till we see you smiling. We know where you hit it.
I have a beak, man.
I wouldn't put that in your mouth.
You don't know where it's been.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you guys want to do? That's all of the only things of worth that you found here. Is those two letters, this book, and the red statue.
The signet rings, do I recognize any of the houses? Like, would I be able to forge stuff with these, or are they just signet rings for various people? Sorry, it's just in the party sheet.
Oh yeah, those are not noble signet rings. They're just stuff that you found along the way.
Okay.
Well, have we been in this store over here?
What does the unidentified item look like? It's the third from the bottom, above the war pick.
It's just a black silhouette. We haven't
There's
unlocked that.
Oh, there's some doors down here.
item.
On our list, it's below the silver ingots, above
Is
the war
that a
pick.
door? Oh, that is a door right there.
Let's keep exploring.
If you is that the fine black candle?
No, it starts with the letter. It's in alphabetical order, so it's after S and before W.
Like, it is literally listed as unidentified item to the players. So
it is not the fine black candle because I see that in the list.
Yes.
Cloud of daggers. That's not right.
Yeah, it's a third from the bottom. If
It's not sorting the same for me. So
yeah, so that's weird. Just hit your ID all button. What the hell?
Yeah, but that'll tell you what the candle is.
So take the candle out and hit the ID button. And we'll know.
I'll put a screenshot in Discord.
It still doesn't help him.
Is that the +1 Nurian hook?
It is not. I should have ID'd everything. Let me know what it is, or what it was.
Well, now we don't know what it is. Where to find it?
The dagger. No, that wasn't it. Oh, I believe it was the chalice.
Chalice.
Chalice of Forbidden.
Chalice.
Oh, Wonder Stadium. Yeah, that probably was
Yep.
it.
That was it.
And Forbidden.
So you wanna just un-ID that if you want or whatever. 'Cause our characters don't know what it is. Our characters don't know.
Yeah. Give yourself a rest, which you should get shortly. And
well, it looks like we got a couple more doors to explore.
there's a door there, and there's one up this hallway.
Yeah.
Those are the last two doors that you haven't looked at.
What is that a door? Did we go through this one?
That is not a door. No.
It's just a.
That's just the wall.
Okay, a bleed through.
Yeah, some of them kind of look like doors.
All right, so
open.
Tyrion, you open the door and you see 3 cowering commoners.
I'm just gonna yell out, "You pathetic garbage people! Get out here before we kill you!" And
Hefty.
I'm gonna try to intimidate them.
All right. Go ahead and give yourself advantage on that.
Good, she
I'm
needs
good
it.
Roll
at
it again.
That's more like it.
He
That's
wasn't
a little
very
more like.
he wasn't very intimidating at first because he still has those tassels over his nipples.
And my voice was little at first.
But he
I
gets him
called it
going
out.
in a little helicopter pattern, and then he flexes. Ooh! Does the
Yeah, they are absolutely terrified. They see the party. They saw what you did earlier, taking them out. So they will do whatever you tell them to do at this point.
Great. Let's not
Yeah.
leave them unattended this time, so we can take them as witnesses.
All right. The room itself looks like storerooms. There's barrels and stuff on the wall, down on the floor, and crates, and then up along the western wall is a rack of weapons. It's an 8-foot wide rack containing a variety of array of weapons. And the weapons hanging on the rack include 2 flails, a flanged mace, a morning star, a spear, 3 curved torture instruments that function the same as sickles, and 2 scimitars and a whip. Also in the room is, it looks like a pantry that's actually here and here. There's nothing else in there. It's a pantry with enough food and rations to feed 20 people for about 60 days. There's a 30-gallon barrel of clean water and a 30-gallon barrel of wine. 3 sacks of rice also are leaned up against the wall.
It's not rat, but Blink will take all of the rations and food.
There's a lot. I mean, this is
Oh,
enough for
more than
20
he can-
people for
we just
60
just
days.
stack it on him.
It's
We
2
just
months
keep
worth of
piling
food
it. We get,
for
but
20
see,
people.
can we get the barrel of water on him too?
30
Pile
gallons.
it on, I can take it. No, so he'll just, kind of like fill his backpack, basically. Just
All right.
Tell a lie.
You can give yourself as many rations as you want to carry.
I want to try to repeat some of the chanting I heard before we fought last time to these commoners and ask them what the chanting was supposed to do. Because with my skill of mimicry, like what
Okay.
was the purpose of this spell? Like what were you guys trying to do here? Is this just like a sick beat you're laying down for some freestyling?
They don't know in terms of the magic, the spell. They do know that they've witnessed the ritual before, and what it basically consists of is the person with the spear. Everybody's chanting and everybody's got the smoke kind of going around everybody, and the person with the spear slowly cuts the victim until they're bleeding from just everywhere, and then they haul them over to that pool and drain their blood into the pool.
And
then
you
they're
3
killed.
dudes were cool with this? Like, do they pick from the cultists, or is this always an innocent?
The victim is an innocent that was brought and held in the prison cells, which are in the north that you found.
Wild. You guys suck pretty bad, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, I like chaos, but you guys are like, I just like chaos in general. You guys are picking innocent people to do chaos on. I like chaos on chaos.
They got sucked in with the weird sex stuff, and then they got addicted to the drugs. And
oh man, I know how that is.
Yeah, never mind. Say no more. Same page. Never. We should let these guys go. Actually, I remember that guy from my group.
Did you all take the blue pill lately? We can't let you off in public if you've taken the blue pill.
Are any of you holding right now?
yeah, they'll. Are you letting them go? Or you? What do you want to do with them?
Well, Lascau's saying a lot of dumb shit, but we're not actually doing any of it.
I think we should keep them with us so we can turn them over to the authorities, and they can
Do you think?
for what happened here.
Do you think we should actually meet with the authorities? I mean, I'm carrying an authority figure over my shoulder, and she was part of this ritual.
Yeah, what are we gonna do with her though? Aren't we gonna take her someplace so they can?
Saucy puppet show.
We're gonna do like the frats do when they have somebody who drinks too much. We're gonna just drive her up to the emergency room door and throw her out and keep going.
She is still warm.
Well,
Just
we have
making a comment.
I can't remember her name that's was kidnapped that everyone was looking for.
Yeah,
Rosalind.
can I suggest an alternative where we turn
Rosalind's.
her in and say that we were rescuing her too, but we found the letter on her? Like it was chaos and we're not really sure what happened. And then she can decide if she wants to accuse us of attacking her. Because I don't know, I just like that opportunity to have another fight later.
We could prop her up in her council chair in the council room and pin the note to her forehead.
I just know that in general, nobles, it doesn't matter if they're bastards, they kind of close ranks. So I don't want to leave this one behind me. This isn't.
For clarification, there are no nobles in Zobek.
Oh, okay, sorry.
She's the town council, but nobles used to run Zobek up until 100 years ago, and there was a massive internal civil war where they overthrew the nobles, and so now they consider themselves the free city of Zobek. There are no slaves, there are no nobles, there are no royal houses or anything like that, and so all of the city councils are from among the citizens.
Okay, so they're like elected. It's not just a semantic
Yeah.
game. Okay, sorry about that.
No. I mean, it's a new setting for all of us. And you are aware that in the city of Zobek, the crime of joining a cult is punishable of up to a year imprisonment.
Oh yeah, I'm super great with implicating her in this thing. I just kind of want to see what happens.
And Blink is mostly concerned with clearing the kobolds, which with Rosalind, I assume that she will be happy to say no, kobolds did not kidnap me. So as long as we get her back and say she says everything's good, then he's happy.
We should definitely turn Rosalind over to her family, and we'll all do hype man. Like he was the one. We were just behind him. We didn't even know what he was doing. He was like Rambo in there, or Zobek Rambo. I'm sure there's a pop culture.
Zambo.
Quint says, I have no problem letting these commoners know they have been doing wrong things and allow them to leave.
Yeah, as long as they invite me to the next party.
I have no quarrel with the law, here or in anywhere else.
All right. So you're gonna let him go?
I'm for it because I mean, honestly, I don't know. They seem pretty stupid. I don't know how much information we could get out of them. We could get more information by letting them go and then seeing who they talk to, or having them come to us later for help.
Can we take their driver's license and tell them we know where they live? I mean, just
They're naked under their cult robes.
I don't look.
They don't have their driver's licenses.
I do, but they don't have driver's licenses, guys.
He's like, Brock, no driver's license. Brock.
Just wrinkles.
So yeah, let's let him go. Get. Don't ever come back, and take your boners with you.
All right. They go running as soon as you let them go. So they flee. They're happy to get out of there. We promise we'll never come back as they run away.
If I ever see them again, I'm making them buy me a drink for sure.
Yeah. If we come back later and they're here, we'll kill them. Yep. Let's go over here and check out this door.
Do we check out all these side rooms?
Yeah, they're just storage. There's nothing further in there.
So how many whips does Last Call have to put in this inventory before he leaves? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we're going to need to clean up that party sheet here once we're done with this temple.
Yeah, we're assuming we're all lugging this stuff around.
Yeah.
So Quint's going to go over and open this door. If it's unlocked.
Okay. It is unlocked. Go ahead and open the door and give me a second.
Did you all look for the doors of secrecy down in this room down here?
No.
to have it in place. So when you open the door, you see you see the chamber is bedecked with pillowed chairs and stuff and plush ottomans all over, which surround a central circular bed. And beneath the satin sheets, you see a kind of flaxen-haired, golden-haired, elf-marked woman who lies besides the body of a human.
And when you say body, is it like
Um,
stiff and like flies around it, or is it?
you see kind of up near the neck area, the sheets are stained red, and the body's not moving. And she's kind of lying there under the sheets with him.
Surrender, and you will not perish today, I say to her.
Okay. She sits up, and you see in her hand is a dagger that is dripping with blood. And she jumps up and attacks you. So we're gonna start initiative. I forgot to roll for her.
Like, fanatic! I yelled down the hallway and point into the room.
All right, the unnamed gets to go first. We'll get you guys in your positions. Okay.
All right, so he says fanatic. Doesn't really mean anything to me. I'm just gonna move up here and then watch down the hall behind me.
She's got a dagger! And
So
she
we've
knows how
all
to
got
use it.
daggers.
Well, she knows how to use it.
Blink will move up and look into the room, and she obviously looks like she's gonna try to kill us, right? I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, she looks enraged.
All right, I'll take a shot at her.
In Midgard, elf marked means a half elf. That's their term for a half elf, essentially.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
All right, you hit her and spin her around as she's trying to clamber off the bed.
I'm gonna
She's
open
still
this.
coming.
I'm gonna open this door behind me and go in, and then close the door behind me.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw the
Go.
statue, open the door, throw the statue in, and close the door, and
I'm just gonna try Eldritch Blast.
All right, blast a beer to the face.
It's a very bitter IPA.
You need to roll her saving throw.
Oh yeah, sorry. I'll try to code that this turn. Sorry about that.
No problem. Let me roll that. It's a Constitution, right?
Correct.
Looks like she made it.
Oh yeah, she's fine.
All right, Quint.
well, Quint is going to shoot her with his bow. I gotta move so I can see her, though. She dodges. And then I'm gonna move back a little bit. Oops. Out of the way.
So there.
waiting for her to
Okay.
come flying out of the room fanatically.
Ducks out of the way. And Tyrion, you're up.
All right. Go up there. I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna try to like grab her and hold her.
Okay.
Kinda.
You want to make a grapple check against her?
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead, and it should be on your actions tab at the bottom. Target her and click on the grapple.
Is she dressed?
No, she just has that sheet kind of wrapped around her that she was under. Other than that, no, she is not dressed.
I
All
like
right,
that.
you have grappled her. Grappled the naked cult fanatic. All right, so she does not try to get away. Instead, she tries to stab you a couple of times with the dagger that she just used to slice the throat of the guy in the bed.
I thought she might try to seduce me.
Hope springs eternal.
Yeah. All right. So you're holding on to her. She does try to stab you once, and that's a hit, and twice, and that's also a hit.
Ow.
And she stabs you twice in the gut for trying to get too close to her and grab onto her.
Yeah, alright, I guess I should have just tried to kill her.
And she gets to go first at the top of the round.
Oh, shit.
Oh, good.
So she's going to continue trying to turn you into a pincushion. And rolls a crit.
She doesn't get, like, disadvantage for being grappled?
No, grapple limits the movement, but it doesn't give you disadvantage, and you can
Restrained
still attack.
is the one you're thinking of.
Yeah, whoops. My bad. Now I'm
So
dying.
that is the. She did one attack there and dropped you. She nails you really good. Kind of tears open your whole gut. And she is going to come.
Steps on your
running
face
out.
on the way out.
Yes. And she tries to slice Last Cause's throat, but misses entirely. Kind of clangs off his beak, but does absolutely no damage.
It's funny, you gotta go through the dough. Go through the. Oh, and last call gets to go.
I'm gonna tell her to put some clothes on because she's got a real weird body. Like,
Ooh.
She fails.
just a weird body, and it's upsetting us all.
One point.
Well, it's mostly the disadvantage.
Thanks.
She has been mocked.
Blink 182.
All right. I will open the door and then line up my shot here at this cult fanatic.
All right. Doing as low damage as you can.
Oh,
and
no.
Tyrion, you make your first death save.
That's good.
The blood's pooling.
Quick, throw her in the pool.
So
I'm
Quint
gonna
now
step
points
up.
out to the unnamed. See? I told you, a fanatic.
And he's going to try to stab her.
Okay.
Oh,
So I
And
go to
he
sweep
does.
her ankle with the hook, and then right at the last minute, flip it around and stabbing into her.
All right. You stab her right up through her abdomen, and the pointy end of your hook penetrates far enough that it starts poking out her back, and she slumps over, kind of half-heartedly reaches her dagger out, and then has no strength left in her hands and drops it. She falls dead by your feet.
And if I see Tyrion over there, I'm gonna step in, and as soon as I can, I'll try to stabilize him.
Okay. We are out of combat.
I'm gonna use a blanket to cover her, but not the naughty bits. Only the parts that you would show in a PG movie. So you know.
And her face.
All right, so feel free to move. Tokens are unlocked.
I can use the my potion to heal Tyrion if we need to. Oh, never mind. You have a spell slot left.
All right.
Oh,
so
thank you. I should not have shown mercy to a crazy cult person. Let's check out this room, and then I could use a nice rest to try to heal.
Yeah, there's plenty of beds and sex racks here if you want to take a quick siesta.
I could just use a bed.
All right, and with that's actually the last creatures in the whole map. So this was the map. Here in this chamber, there is the only items you find is the dead body in the bed, human male, otherwise not particularly, nothing stands out about him. His throat has been slit, and it appears obviously that this woman was the responsible party. The only other thing you find in the room is two crimson robes. They're kind of the same crimson robes you've seen elsewhere, worn by members of the cult of forbidden ecstasies.
Before we leave, should we grab robes that fit us a little bit, just for the future if we get invited to a cool party like this?
Like it all goes crimson robed, horny people.
Right, yeah. That guy wants to find a robe that kind of fits him, like the closest he can find without trying too hard.
Quint's gonna bend
I
over
one down to my side.
and pick up the bloody dagger that she had and hand it over to Tyrion and say, "This is a dagger of halfling slaying, I believe."
Thanks.
It worked. All right.
Is it a nice dagger?
It's an ordinary dagger. Nothing special about it.
I'll take it. I could use it.
Sentimental value for Quinn.
Well, you
Yeah.
already
One
gave
of his friends.
I wipe the blood off on the on the blanket there.
On her sheet that she
Yeah.
picked up as she stood up. It's red. You can't really see it once it's wiped off. All right, so the Temple of Marina is cleared. You have Roslyn and Malenka still. Roslyn is alive. Malenka appears dead, but you get the feeling that she's actually still alive.
All right, I think we should rest here before we leave.
Before we turn in the body?
Yeah.
I don't want to sleep with the body. I'm not into that.
Where are we in town? I forgot.
I guess we could first. Yeah, if we feel relatively safe, I think it's fine if we just leave.
Yeah, you're in a section of the Cartaways, which is kind of an underground network of sewer tunnels and rooms and other things that were old holdovers from when the kobolds ran silver mines underneath Zobek. And some of those tunnels were all repurposed, and now this is kind of a hidden area of the cartaways that you managed to find your way to.
As somebody who's had a lot of brushes with the city watch, it's generally better to show up like bloodied and looking like you were in a fight if you're holding a dead body, as opposed to perfectly clean and rested holding a dead body.
Okay, so that sounds good.
Unless, of course, you plan on getting into a fight with the guards, then.
Well, it depends on like if the guards paid you for the moment with the body. Anyway, my private life isn't your business. I think we should. I think we should look like we rescued her, not like we found her and then took a nice sleep about it.
Okay, fair enough. And we do have the kidnapped girl too to collaborate our story.
Yeah, and she
Yes.
seems to be almost not dead. So
So where are we
She's got a
spending
whole
the
1 hit
evening?
point.
Jess, I agree. We need to return this woman to her family.
Do we know
Okay.
her family lives? I am not familiar with this city at all. This is my first time.
Yeah, I know exactly where her family lives.
if they live near a bar, I know where they live.
She frequents a lot of bars.
Oh, yeah,
That's
then I
actually
think-
something that you are familiar with about her. Now that you think about it, she is a bard and spends a considerable amount of time at taverns and bars singing.
Okay, so I've
She's
seen
kind
her,
of
but
famous around town.
I don't know her because if she's there, I'm not, kind of thing. Know of her, recognize her on the street, do the chin nod.
Certainly, yeah, she's well known through the town. I mean, one of the city council, and an accomplished bard that spends a lot of time at taverns singing body songs.
Body songs. No karaoke?
Wait, which one are we talking about now? Are we talking not Rosalind, the other one?
No, Malanka.
No,
Okay.
Wait, what are body songs?
BAWDY, body, not body.
Yeah,
Okay, body. Okay, got it.
body. Sorry.
I heard body too, B-O-D-Y. I was like,
Confused.
I mean, the kind of party she throws, it could be both.
kind of imagine like clothes coming off.
If you're blank, hang low, does it?
So are we going to turn her in or get some rest first?
Turn her in.
Turn her in?
Turner. Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
So, how and where would you like to turn her in? Are you taking her to the watch? Are you taking her to a temple? Are you taking her?
Taking her
To
to
the
her
watch.
house.
I want as
Take her
many
to her-
people
to her
saying
home.
turn her in as possible. I just want as many people to know that we tried to do the right thing. Because I think if we bring her to her home, they might cover it up, blame it on us.
Yes.
Well, should we take her to a temple where she could be healed?
She's undead. Will she burst into flame if we do that? I don't know.
Rosalind, we're talking about.
No.
Rosalind is alive. We're talking
Both
about
of them.
Milanka.
I think
Right.
take both of them to
We
the.
need to get her to her
watch.
family.
Well, I think we want the watch involved though.
And whatever we do, we need to bring Rosalind along first so that she can corroborate our story and say, yes, these people rescued both of us.
I know we're not supposed to split the party, but a couple of us could go and grab her family and meet at the watch if we're in the city.
Yes.
Probably
Yeah.
lower risk.
Yes, let's do that.
Or we can bring the watch to where she's at as well. We should bring the watch here.
Yeah. I mean, unless we want to keep, this sex dungeon a secret, for later use.
Not up my alley.
All right. So, what's the plan?
Well, let's. Is there anybody we can trust in this town? Does anyone have anyone that we can trust?
I don't.
I don't even trust you, man.
Well, I know a few people, but I think that I like the idea of us sending somebody to go get Rosalind's family, and the rest of us go and take Malanka to the authorities and turn her over to them and explain what happened, with Rosalind there to back us up, and then eventually her family can arrive and pick her up from the authorities as well.
And
I'd like to offer to go to the authorities because I'm a champion shit spinner, so I can help with that.
can you bring up the map and we can take a look, see where we're at when we come out?
The map of Zobek.
Well, wherever we came in here from, you know.
Yeah.
Amazing message of the day thing.
So the cartaways are underneath. And you guys entered from the Kobold Ghetto, you know, somewhere in here. And you entered into there, went through a bunch of side tunnels and whatnot, eventually ended up here. There's very likely to be other passageways that lead here, but you don't know all of them. You're not familiar with all of them. Nearby is the Temple District. Yeah, it's not too far over here. Is the Temple District where most of the religious temples and stuff are, with the largest being number 11 there. The kind of ruling area, where the military is located, is up here in the Citadel District at the tower. And then there's various other districts as well.
What do we know of this moon Grace Temple that's right nearby?
Moon Grace Temple?
36.
Good question. I don't know.
Do they ever have pancake breakfasts or spaghetti dinners? Because otherwise, Lascaux doesn't know.
Council Hall is right there in the bottom of the Crown Square.
Yep, there's a council hall there where you can meet with. There's certainly always going to be guardsmen and stuff around there.
I think that'd be a good spot because then there'd be fancy witnesses. Because commoner witnesses are fine, but fancy witnesses.
Right. The courthouse is right next to it, so.
Yeah, and then we got the square there, so hopefully, we have there's a lot of people there just hanging out, and hopefully that thing in the middle is just like a podium and not a gallows where they're just gonna immediately kill us.
No, it is not a gallows.
We should definitely pretend that we rushed here as soon as we found her and we didn't do like a real estate tour of a property we were inspecting.
I agree.
Well, we can at least start heading that direction anyways.
Yeah, I'll help
Quint
carry her.
was thinking perhaps we should bring some guards to the temple as we get this survivor some healing, but...
Well, I'm fine here, staying here, waiting for the guards and checking out all their equipment and stuff. Seeing if I can find their drinks.
All right, so you're taking her to the council hall, correct? Is anybody going back to get her family?
I'm trying to remember, what was their... I mean, they basically thought that I kidnapped her, right?
Yeah, they'd come and they went to the Kobold thing, and there was a somewhat skirmish outside the restaurant or Kobold food place.
Yeah.
And we diffused it and said, no, we'll save her. And so we should probably go back there to drop her off. But I think Lascaux would be the best to talk to the guard because he is high charisma. So.
Yeah, and I was thinking that I should not be the one who goes to get her family because they may be angry at me.
No, Tyrion would go to get family with maybe someone else.
Okay. They are here in the lower Zobek area. They're just they're not a rich family, just outside the ghetto. You did meet them when they came in and attacked the Rampant Roach, trying to get at Brick, who's the one that's accused.
Thought we already said we're just going to take them both to the council hall so she can corroborate the story.
Oh, okay. But Tyrion is going to go try and summon the family.
Get the family and we'll all meet at the council hall, yes.
All right. Yeah, sounds like a plan. So you guys go ahead and haul the body of Milanka out, following along with you. Rosalind is happy to accompany you.
Dragging it face down by the feet along the cobblestone.
Thunk, thunk, thunk. Let me pull up my.
Now Quint's got her covered up and kind of trying to be staying in the shadows as best he can so he doesn't draw any attention to lugging a
Okay.
body through the streets of Sobek.
The most chalant man ever, darting from shadow to shadow every day.
It wouldn't
Plus, he
draw
doesn't
much
like to.
attention in the Kobold Ghetto,
He doesn't like to be in the sun anyway. So
which
It's
is
a nice straight
just
shot too.
yeah. You're close. You have no issues getting to the council hall, and right as you get towards Crown Square, you do see several of the city guard located around there. Uh, how do you approach them? How do you want to?
Hands up, like
Right?
we found her. We saved her from a cult. We think she was mind wiped. And I'm just gonna do all the charisma rolls I can do to be like, don't kill us.
All right.
Quint's gonna say, "Please, please help us," to one of the guards as he comes out of the shadows carrying the body.
Awesome.
The least persuasive. That was awesome. All right. So you drag the bodies out there. You call the guards over, and they immediately get this suspicious look on their face, and even more so when they move the cloth aside and see who it is, um, and they order you all to come with them, and they take you down into the council hall and put you in a holding cell just for a while as they try and take care of her. You see them talking with her. They summon somebody. A guy comes over and he starts looking at her and shakes his head. And they look over at you guys and say, "Well, what happened to her? How did she get like this?"
The unnamed is like, I'm still in my full regalia, my priest vestments, and I'm going to, before, as soon as we get into the square as they're running around, I'll be pointing to Rosalind saying that we rescued her, trying to draw the attention toward her while these other ones are, and the bird is failing at life, telling them about the councilwoman.
All right. Um, the guards take Rosalind aside and start talking with her, and you kind of overhear. She's a little separated from where you guys are standing, but you overhear her explaining how her name is Rosalind Turner. She was kidnapped, and these people, and she points to you guys, came and saved her. Um, she describes that she was held in this strange place underground, and she's not sure what was going on, but they did save her and the other woman that she points to. The guards are arguing back and forth, and eventually the guards summon over, and you see what looks like another priest coming from down the road, and the unnamed, you recognize the vestments that's being worn is one of the priests of Rava, which is the gear goddess who is the patron deity of here in Zobek. And they quickly gather up the body of Melanka and take her away. The guards tell you that they're going to need to keep you here until they have determined what is going on and what is who's at fault here. They do ask you for directions to this cult place that you described. How did they get there? They want to be able to investigate the scene of the crime.
We tell them.
Okay.
I was just
So you
gonna say
describe.
this seems as good as any place to take a rest.
Yeah. With
we
that,
look
you guys are
around
going
the
to be in the
cell.
holding cell for a few days. So I'm going to go ahead and push a long rest, and you guys can level up to level 3.
They put me in my regular drunk tank with all my friends, or is it what?
Level up.
Push a long rest.
And you said we should level up?
Yes, level up to level 3. And while you're leveling up, I'll kind of describe what has happened around town. Um, while you guys are in the holding cell, it takes several days for the guards to eventually come back, and they do let you go. They basically describe that Melanka was taken to the Temple of Rava, where she received healing. It required some advanced magic in order to purge her of the toxins or poisons or magical affliction that was affecting her. Um, since that time, she's kind of gone into isolation for a couple of days as she recuperated. But as soon as she felt better, she came out and immediately demanded that you guys be released and that you were innocent of any crime against her. Rosalind also backed up your story. Yes, unnamed. Rosalind backed up your story as well. Her family came by, and seeing her with the family, Brick and Skirtle also came by. So they all kind of met and resolved their differences. So they're not really angry at you anymore. The guards did manage to raid the entire underground cult um, and empty that out. So there's nothing left there. And after all of this, you are invited to visit with Melanka if you would like to visit with her. She invites you to her home.
Milanka invites us to her home. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
the town council.
I want to
I'm
make
definitely
Yeah.
sure I get leveled
I
up
want to
before
try
I
to
go.
get like a guard position there or something, so that I can rob her. I mean, friends.
All right, so you guys head on over to Melanka's, and she seems very ashamed of herself, and she she tells you that she's not really sure how or why it everything ended up the way it did. Um, it started off she was looking for interest, excitement, something different, and she met Felicia, um, and they started up an immediate friendship. Um,
Thanks for the follower tag.
she slowly got deeper and deeper, and for the last month or so, she's barely been able to make sense of anything. She's not been feeling like herself at all. Um, she's not sure what they did to her or what they made her do, but she knows she's been spending a significant amount of time in some of the taverns around town singing songs and telling tales, doing her bard stuff, but with a very dark twist to it, and always with a very negative slant towards Dragonkin and the Maroti. Now, if you remember, the Maroti, which was mentioned in the letter, is the kingdom ruled by dragons. It's down to the south.
I'm going to try to convince her that we should be the ones to look into this to protect her honor. And if she could give us any information, any contact she has, I want to track down exactly what happened to her. Mostly, your last call is actually looking for a party. But it the in the end, we might actually find the bad guys.
Okay. She also basically explains that she's been talking with the other consuls about solidifying military support um, with the Magdar, which is the kingdom that's right next to Zobek, um, to strengthen their borders against the Maroti, and proposing, but it's not been made official yet, an alliance between Zobek and the Blood Kingdom, so that there would not be attacked. There would be an alliance between them. Um,
You might want to put a pin in that for now because it seems like you got a little brainwashed.
yeah, she's starting to realize that that this is something's really not right about that whole situation. You guys have any questions for her?
Just if she can hook us up with any of the contacts who wouldn't have been at the party last night, who may not know already that we're involved. I know that's pretty low likelihood because we brought her to the town square. But if there's anybody that she thinks is that we could hit on or ask questions before they know what's up.
She doesn't know. Everybody that she knew in the cult is now dead.
That's our
Boris,
fault.
Felixa, and all of the others that you encountered and killed. Those were the only people that she knew. She was kind of totally out of her mind by the time you guys encountered her.
Would she be willing to sponsor one priest spell of speak with the dead so we could interview one of the corpses before they get interred? Or, I mean, that's her call because it's her night.
All of the corpses are now in the hands of the City Watch. They've confiscated everybody and everything that was in that temple.
Quint's gonna say, I think we would like to give the honor of the rescue to Blink and the Kobolds as a public announcement.
Oh,
She's actually very supportive of that. She realizes now that all of this antagonism towards the kobolds and towards the dragonkin in general were a false thing that this cult was trying to promote. Apparently, to try and stir up passions against them, so that politically they would attention would turn towards the Marodi Empire and away from Morgau.
So Blink is not interested in the individual accolades at all. He doesn't care, but he understands that this is necessary for the other kobolds in the city, to hopefully clear their name and quell some of the anger against them. So he'll go along with it a little bit reluctantly.
I'm going to assume the nascent racism means that the heralds are going to see thanks to blank the kobold.
All right. So yeah, that's kind of what she says to you, and after you finish meeting with her, again, just kind of describing what's going on in the background, she does go on an active campaign, going to taverns and bars and whatnot, and the exact 180 of what she was doing before. Everything is about how important the kobolds are and how helpful they are, and singing her songs and spreading the word. So you guys have some downtime ahead of you. How would you guys like to be spending your downtime now? I know we talked about this offline, but situations changed a little bit. So
I think Lascau's still going to do the same thing, trying to find similar parties. less for fun, but now just out of curiosity. He wants to find where these blood cult hold their things because that was a pretty established party zone, so they probably have more than one.
Okay.
So are we arranging to
We're
meet
trying to
together
figure
at a certain time, or how are we keeping touch with each other?
Yeah, are we staying somewhere? All staying somewhere at the same place?
You can. There's plenty of inns around.
Yeah, I'll try to set up a bard thing at whatever, either the inn they're at or a nearby inn, if that one's taken.
Okay. You have no trouble, finding a tavern that'll let you stay, including letting you play for, your meals and stuff.
Mediocrity, but yeah.
The White Rose Tavern. That one sounds nice. Right here.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it. Where is that?
62.
There it is.
Yeah, that's not too fancy. Lascaux just
All
doesn't
right.
get the fancy districts.
The
It's
White
down at
Rose
the
Tavern is a nightly tavern for the paladins and priests of the Sun God and the War God. The White Rose is not to everyone's tastes. Shrines and statues to the patron gods and various saints decorate the walls. Bouts of combat occur every night, and prayer services are held at dawn and noon.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to take the night shift.
Quint wants to see if he can find any information about the Krakowian rebels in Zobik.
Okay.
Not
Krakovan
openly.
rebels. Sure.
The mice, anyways. So he's going to
Okay.
ask around discreetly.
So, Lascaux, you in your searching around at various taverns and you poke your head in and out and spend the next few days kind of searching through some of the local dives and stuff that you know. You in all of the lower class, the poorer areas, you don't hear any mention of stuff like this. But when you go to some of the higher end ones, that's where you start to get hints. Um, nobody like really comes out openly to talk about it, but you find out some of the places where Lady Milanka was more frequented more often. Those are the places where you tend to pick up little hints and stuff. Um, you're not sure, but you think you kind of get the impression that perhaps either she was the cause or they were targeting her in those locations, knowing where she would be.
So this cult seems more cocaine than crack, you're saying. It's like they're targeting people with influence.
Yes, that's very much the case. Um, and Quint, give me an what would it be?
Investigation, maybe?
Yeah, give me an investigation check. I'm gonna see how well you do.
Pretty good.
All right, that's a good one. All right, so you're looking around, kind of quietly looking for any information on the Krakovan rebels, the mice, and you you do find a small network, um, and from them you learn that the alliance between King Lucan, the vampire king, and Emperor Nicophorus, who's the emperor of the Ghoulish Empire, um, they seem to be having a bit of a falling out. Um, the not really sure the details, but there seems to be ghouls working against Morgau. Uh, Rumors and hints, but not a whole lot on the details.
And historically, is the Pulse challenged fighting amongst themselves normal, or is this a new thing?
So 10 years ago, well, many years ago, King Lucan, as the vampire lord, took over two countries, and Morgau and Doresh. And 10 years ago, Emperor Nicephorus uh, raised his ghoulish army and joined with King Lucan and overthrew Cracovia, which is where Quint is from. And so their combined undead might allowed them to completely overthrow those three countries now.
And then they're fighting amongst themselves for position.
They're
Okay.
yeah, there's hints and rumors that there's something going on there that's not that's bad blood. Was there anything, Quint, that you wanted to communicate with them specifically about?
Well, Quint does communicate specifically to them that he has made it to Zobek, obviously, and um, that he has assisted in rescuing one of the council members and may have an ear through the Zobek Council now. And he is also asks if anyone hears anything about authorities wanting information about this rescue attempt, that they would let him know too, that
Okay.
other authority figures that start asking weird questions. And basically says that he's in town if the mice need him.
Okay.
So he's using his Rebel Network background feature.
Mm-hmm. All right. Blink, unnamed, Tarian.
Uh, so Blink wants to go. Well, the first thing he wants to do is return to the Kobold King Kodo and talk to him, fill him in. He's probably heard most of what happened, but give him his firsthand account of what happened. And then after that, see if he has any other tasks for Blink.
Okay. So Kodo is extremely happy with you and with the results of your investigation into this thing. Um, he does arrange to have you and Brick and Rosalind and some of her family to meet publicly there within the Kobold Ghetto. They kind of throw a little party where at the Rampant Roach where they have a big giant meal and everybody kind of mends the fences and kind of brings everybody back together. He tells you that he doesn't have any tasks specifically other than to keep your eyes and ears open because he's learned recently that from one of the other kobold kings who currently serves on the city council that an ambassador from Maroti has arrived a few days back. And at first, the Kobold Kings kind of thought that maybe it was related to the recent development of hatred to kobolds and dragonkin, but that seemed like it was too recent for this an ambassador to show up. It's too small of a situation to warrant having a full ambassador um, meet with them. And the only thing that they do know is that the ambassador met with the Kobold Kings on the council and with the mayor, and is apparently looking for someone, a human female, somewhat older, um, and the only details that were given were that she was uh, wanted as a criminal. She had committed some kind of serious crime down in Maroti, and they were wishing to track the criminal down. But it both to Koto and to you, it seems very odd to have an ancient blue dragon to be chasing down this kind of middle-aged elderly human woman.
Yes, that does seem suspicious. So he just wants me to keep an eye out, like if I hear anything about this woman.
Yeah, about the woman, about the ambassador, any information that you find out, he's very curious as to what's really going on, because it sounds very strange.
Okay. And then if Kodo doesn't have anything else for him, this is Blink is from the city, so he has lots of friends and family that he would probably go to visit. Hit up some of his favorite haunts to get some skewered rat on a stick, that sort of thing. Um, no offense to Dick Pick's memory, but it's just too delicious for him to pass up. And maybe even go visit, Rosalind's family and check in to make sure everything's okay there. But yeah, just some little things like that, depending on how much time we have.
Okay. You can certainly spend time doing that. Unnamed, anything you're doing? Or are you doing what you had told me you were going to do?
So, in addition to trying to find information on the prophecy in the picture, if nothing else, trying to focus and pray and spend time in prayer as well to determine what is important. So, like, there are two pictures of people down below, and I don't know if those are actually important. There's also two symbols down below that are the same, just different color, red and blue. Um, so things like that, determining what is important, and what I should be looking looking for. I mean, I'm also. Is there any kind of? I know that you mentioned there's the temple of the mechanic god. Is
Rava.
there anything close to the equivalent of Sif in this town or Sif itself?
Well, you had set up a shrine to Sif. That's the only local worship to Sif. You had
And are
prior
there
to you
clerics
leaving on
there
the
or
trip.
priests of Sif there?
Uh, Nobody as high level as you.
You're on mission,
All
man.
right. So I'm going to go to probably the biggest temple in town, and talk to them. And what I'm trying to do is talk to a paladin and try to get some little bit of training on what I'm looking for with the divine sense and how to use that.
Okay. Yeah, you have no trouble. There are a number of temples here, um, which would be happy to assist you with training and learning how to use your divine senses. Uh, Sif, while not a major deity in Zobek, is a well-known deity, and they respect her and what she stands for, um, and are happy to help you with that kind of training. As far as the prophecy, one of the things that you pick up on in your studying through one of the local libraries, there's a in the Collegium district, there is a large um, kind of college of magic, and they have numerous libraries that study various topics. And while browsing through there, you learn a couple of things about the image. One is the robes, specifically this style of robe that you see in the image is a ceremonial holy robe, and oddly enough, it's worn only by shield maidens of Sif. It's not often seen or used outside of the most holy rituals of initiation and burial. It's also not used in the parts of the world that you normally have been and traveled through. It's used in a small sect of Sif that has or was based in Cracovia before the fall of the uh, the the empire or the country. Um, the vision, as you study it and you think about it in the prophecy, you you get a sense of time, as if there's multiple things being represented here. The robes are one thing, the image at the center is something else, and you get a sense that there's both somehow the past and the present being represented within the image.
All right, and the last thing I want to do is just make sure I clean my vestments. I have two. I have probably 3 different sets of vestments that I go through, so I always have a clean pair. I want to make sure they're all cleaned. So when we get back together and get going again.
Okay.
You're
Have you
the only
shared the
one
prophecy with the others? I just
I have not.
Okay.
I might bring it up to. Like I said, I haven't really been keeping it secret. They've probably seen me painting it. And so I wouldn't. I don't have a way as a player to share the image,
Yeah.
but
I just shared it with everybody. So this is what you've seen him painting, spending his free time focusing on over the last couple of weeks.
and Tyrion and possibly Blink may have asked me about it, and I would tell them that this is a vision I've seen and similar to other visions I've had in the past. And they're always accurate. It's just a matter of determining what they mean.
Well,
And is
if they
the
were
background significant? Are the flames significant?
Yes.
Is that actual? Okay.
That is actual flames, and in your vision they are active flames, but when you draw them, of course, they're static. But there's this sense of fire and burning behind it.
So it's behind it. It's not on fire.
The image, the robes do not appear on fire, but the flames are actively billowing and coming up from behind the robes.
Well, one last thing, real quick. You had told me at one point what the blue stuff was, and I cannot find the note. So I'm retyping my notes. It was like a flower or a cloth within the timepiece.
Yeah. So it appears to be like some kind of cloth. It's like almost charred remnants of cloth, as if you had taken a pile of cloth and set it on fire and kept the little bits that survived.
All right,
Okay,
so
thank you.
so we need to look at the party inventory and clean that up too before we finish up.
Yes.
So there's a few things I have a couple of questions on. The silver ingots said that they were of the barony of Dorish. Were these ingots quest related? I forgot.
No, they were not quest related.
Okay, and then
They just
there's
pointed to their origin.
a rose quartz ring that the cost is 0.1, but the description says it's worth 15 gold. So looks like it's
because they made it weight 15.
Oh, there you go.
It's supposed to be cost 15 gold.
You have a point, yeah.
And weight 0.1. There, that's fixed.
And then I think Quent wants the longsword if no one has an objection.
That's fine.
Nope, I got all these sexy outfits from that closet. I'm happy.
Does anybody want the shield? All right, I'm gonna take it.
There's a nice breastplate too, but I don't know if anybody can wear a breastplate. It's worth 400 gold. I'm hoping not.
Sell it.
Yeah, I'd rather sell that. It would get in the way of my instruments.
Quint doesn't have any, use for the magical candle, but it sounds like something a cleric would probably have a use for.
Yes, and the unnamed wants the candle.
I agree. You should take it.
And there was the besides the candle, there was what was the other thing? The
silver
tome
spear.
or something?
Oh yeah, there's that magic
What?
book.
Why don't Blink take the two hyenas' teeth because he's kind of the
I,
gadgeteer kind of guy and making stuff.
yeah, I'd be happy to take those. I'll use them. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay with just selling everything else and taking the money.
Yeah, I don't see anything else that. I think we would turn the keys over to the watch for that place so they can examine it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would have
yeah.
assumed we did that when
Yeah.
when we told them how to get there. Oh, by the way, we found these keys.
I'm going to read through the book and make notes, and then let them sell it.
Okay, that's fine. There's
Just
nothing important to the game in the book, so but it's
just go to Staples and make a photocopy. Oh.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
a
So
that's a magic spell, right?
I say sell it.
All right. Going once, going twice. I'm gonna sell it all. And this rest will just get deleted. Why is
Does a noblewoman offer to
One gold
replace
doesn't
my
split
potion
about
of healing?
5.
Yeah, my only
it?
other
The noble does not, but you can buy potions of healing for 50 gold.
yeah, my only other question is, can I add to my inventory a crimson robe in my size? Because I said that
Yes.
would. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so everybody gets 125 gold.
Rich, I retire.
Yeah, you're all rich. And so Tarian, you were the last one. What would you like to be doing during this time?
So, as I didn't have a huge connection to the city, I didn't have really a ton of stuff that I wanted to do. I was thinking about going back and meeting up with that halfling that we had met before, and then once I wasn't with a ton of people, kind of talking to him about what uh, the halfling community was like in the city, and seeing if I could meet up with any old friends.
Okay. Yes, the halfling is absolutely excited to see you again, and is constantly bugging you to tell him the adventures that you've been on and describe everything, and he wants to see your new tattoos that you've been working on, um, and hear the tales of heroism. There are not a lot of halflings here in the town. Um, he tells you that he only knows of about a dozen or so who are working around the town. They're all of the ones that he knows are working as servants for other wealthy residents of the city. Um, mostly people who traveled here from Dornick, which is where the vast majority of halflings are from. Um, none are what he would consider free, really, despite the fact that they're not really slaves. They're just have been servants to the families of Dornick for so long that it seems like the natural course for them. Were you going to look into Dickpick as well? You had mentioned that.
Oh yeah, I was gonna see if I could find any friends or family of his and tell them what happened to him and that he was a hero in his own way.
Okay. So as you're searching throughout the taverns and areas to try and find where Dickpick was, you do eventually find a kind of a seedy, rundown bar that he seems to have lived. The
Ascot in
bartender,
there.
uh, maybe. um, Apparently, he had a deal in exchange. Um, he made sure that in exchange for room and letting him live there, he made sure that he was the only one who was stealing the food. He kind of find anybody else who was trying to steal. The bartender kind of found him useful, but very annoying. Um, he shows you to where Dick Pick's room was, and you start going through stuff, and you find some odd letters that it looks like were written. They're all handwritten in Dick Pick's writing, and they look like fan letters, and there's art, and there's like these fan art of local adventurers, and you see one that looks amazingly like you, and Quint and Blink and the Unnamed. The likenesses are really good, and it's just gushing praise for for all of you. He has no family that the bartender knew of, but he claimed to be related to heroes. But from what you can gather, it seems like that was just another lie that he told people.
All right. That I am glad that Dick Pick was able to join us for that period of his life.
All right, and after several days of you all doing kind of your own thing, getting involved in your various things, you all meet up at your inn where you're all kind of centrally staying at, and you get a knock. You hear a loud knock on the door, and when you open the door, you see a very tall, thin, gear-forged creature, man, standing there. And in a very tinny, mechanical voice, he introduces himself as Pius. And he would like you all to accompany him to the Temple of Rava. You are being summoned to meet with the High Priestess on a matter of the utmost importance. And that is where we're going to end it today. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for everything, man.
All right,
thank
you.
excellent. Yeah, good job. Good times. Good times. All right, so we will be back here in 2 weeks for this game. So Friday, January 22nd will be our next session of this. But next week I'll be running Jungles of Cholt. So I will let the players do their thing, and I'll close out the session and everything. So say goodnight, everybody, to the stream.
Night,
Night,
To the
everybody.
people that are still out there. There's a few
Good
people
night.
hanging out
Good
still.
call.
And we'll talk to you guys in a second. So tomorrow is not happening. We are on hiatus for Icewind Dale. Rime of the Frost Maiden, then we'll be picking that one up in a couple of weeks. But Sunday I'll be running Against the Giants right here, 8 o'clock Eastern. And then on Tuesday, I'll be running Princes of the Apocalypse. That's session 2 we got going. And then I'll be playing over on Marbania's channel on Thursday. And then back here on Friday for Jungles of Cholt. So it's been great. I appreciate everyone hanging out and all that jazz. And let's see if there's anybody on the network that we want to raid. Looks like Marbania is still going. Let's see if we can go raid him real quick. So we're gonna go try that. So gonna pop over there and raid Marbania. So we'll talk to you guys later. overlay.